Hi, I'm Rick Lobdell. Welcome to another episode of Concrete Mystique, the podcast. I want to thank Surfco for sponsoring the show. Go to surfco.com and check out all their great products. Follow me on all social media platforms. Today on the show is my good friend, Brandon Meeks. Welcome back to another episode of the Concrete Mystique podcast. Today I have a great friend with me, Brandon Meeks. That's why we have this beautiful, is this purple? Is it purple or is it blue?
It's blue.
It's blue?
Blue. Okay.
Wouldn't know that if you're colorblind. I thought it was purple the whole time. I thought it was going to be really cool to have a purple background, but I was wrong again.
Now we have to mention our ASCC annual conference, Grand Rapids, Michigan.
I already did that earlier, too. Being from Ohio, I gotta love making Michigan jokes.
Oh, yeah. Get the digs.
So we were at the conference today, and so let's go ahead and talk about, some of the reasons why we're at these conferences. Now, how many years now have you been here?
This is my fifth conference.
Okay.
Fifth annual conference.
And why do you keep coming back?
Well, coming back, that's an easy question. The harder question in the beginning was, why do I come the first time, and why do I want to spend the money? Why do I want to take off work for the week and potentially lose a week of income there?
I mean, right there is a very good point, because we've talked about that many a times. We're contractors.
Yeah, I'm a contractor.
The company doesn't run without us. That is a major issue.
Yeah, so you can sometimes have jobs set up and your crews, they're going to take care of it while you're out of town. Other times it's a little more stressful to think that things are going on, you're not there.
Some of us have trust issues with that, yeah.
But to answer the question, though, is in the very beginning, I had been to World of Concrete many, many times, but not to the ASCC annual conference. And I kept hearing that the classes were more intimate, the time management is not such a crunch to try to meet with someone. So, yeah, I came the first year, and it was just very relaxed. Classes were amazing, a lot slower pace than World of Concrete when you're trying to get a meeting with someone. So it's just a really close, intimate setting with maybe 300 of your peers instead of 80,000.
Well, an interesting point you make is about the classes. I never really think about the benefit. I'm always here about, mostly the networking, but I do learn so much when I'm here, and I always think about the roundtables.
Yeah.
The roundtables are my favorite part and where I learn the most, but I sometimes forget about all the different seminars that are going on.
Right.
And there is a lot of class going on here. It's not just networking, which is my favorite part of it, but it's not just networking. We're not just coming here for one thing just to get together and say we've got together. There is so much more that is going on over the 2 days of this event, and it's cram-packed. I mean, there's 3 seminars going on at the same time.
At the same time, every day.
At the same time.
And in addition to that, there are certification programs that you can go to. You can get certified for ACI flat work finisher, for ACI decorative concrete finisher.
Which the concrete one is a new one. We've only been doing that for a couple years now.
I've got to say I've completed both of those certifications.
And you did it backwards.
And I did it backwards. I did decorative first and then flat work finisher. But hey, they both got done, and I'm proud to have received those certifications from ACI. I show them off on every chance that I get to my guys and to anyone that's interested. But it's not to really blow my own horn. It's really to raise awareness, to say, hey guys, there is a program out there. There is a class. There is something out there for you, for what you do in this industry, that will certify you. And then you'll have someone behind you backing you up and saying, no, this is our accreditation. This is our certification for this class, for this procedure, for whatever it may be, from floor flatness to curing, there's a million topics, but you have that ACI and ASCC behind you saying, we have tested, we've certified that this person is capable of doing this.
I think it's huge how much ACI and ASCC do together.
Work together.
It's not one organization and another. We're not doing the same testing or the same everything. We're doing it together so that we only have to do it once.
Yeah.
And it's more thorough and more accurate because of it.
Yeah, it adds tons of strength to our industry as well. Just makes people feel like they've...
Now, what's your favorite part of the conference?
Oh, that'd be the networking. Yeah, the
You're all about
networking.
the
Yeah,
networking. like
I love it. Yeah, I mean, the classes are great, and you get it all in one place. I much prefer a in-person class experience than an online per se. I don't like the online classes as much. So, but the networking, you can't get that anywhere. You can't get that online in a Zoom meeting. In World of Concrete, you see everyone, but again, everyone's typically so busy. So this setting here, where we're here for 3, 4, 5 days, and there's maybe only 300 of us here.
Right.
You know, that,
Well, one thing that people have to understand that are listening, this isn't, the event itself is really 2 days. It's, like they've moved it from being Friday and Saturday to Thursday and Friday. But we're here from Monday because we have board meetings.
Right. Well,
for all the
that's true.
different committees and all the different boards that are going on. So we have 2 days of committees before this thing actually even starts.
before it starts, yeah.
And those, on one hand, being a contractor, yes, that's a challenge to come here for all of it. But on the other hand, seeing what this organization is doing on all the different aspects of concrete in a 2-day period, and then going into the networking, going into the seminars
Right.
on top of that.
Right.
There's so much going on in 4 days. It's insane
Yeah,
here.
well, you get the full experience if you come for the committee week, committee meetings, the board meetings, and people are welcome to come in. Now, you keep that in mind. Anyone listening that wants to get involved with the ASCC and you're a member, you're welcome to come to those meetings and sit in, listen to what people are discussing, listen to what their goals are, and really get an inside look of that group and see, hey, I want to be a part of this. I want to be a part of the emerging leaders. That's a great new one that we've got coming up.
And it's not new. It's just that we are finally noticed. I mean, it's a good point that the 2 of us, not,
Well, I guess that
not
would be
we as
a
an
good way of saying it,
organization, but
yeah.
the 2 of us are going, hey, we should have been more involved with this in the beginning.
There you go. That's
You've
what
been
I
here for
should
5
say.
years. I've been here for 12. I've gone to 2 meetings until today.
Right.
And I agree with you. And I reached out to them about the idea of what we want to do for World of Concrete. And the reception I got from a couple of them, had my own meeting with them and stuff like that prior to this, made me go, you guys got some stuff going on. You got a lot going. Like, I'm excited about what they're doing together.
Yeah, so let's talk a little bit about this upcoming World of Concrete and what you and I have kind of taken on with a couple of other people.
I'm scared to talk about it. Everybody's all eyes are on the 2 of us
Right,
right
so,
now. It's so crazy.
Well, I think that it is the beginning of something big, and that is, go ahead. What are we calling? What's
All
the
right.
name?
So our goal, ladies and gentlemen, drum roll please, I'm kidding, is we want to create a decorative concrete experience.
Yes.
Now, that's incorporating the polishing also. So we're working on whether it should be called the decorative concrete polishing experience, and and like how we want to use those 2 together, or if the decorative concrete experience entails all of it, which I think it does.
I kind of think it does.
But we will figure that out in the next meeting when we actually talk to the polishing guys at the same time too, because
Right.
I did accidentally skip that meeting yesterday because I was doing one of these instead. And so our goal is, the first main goal, or mine, the most important goal I've had from day one of coming up with this idea, is to create a history of decorative concrete. And I really want to dig into how it all started, where did it all start, when was the first time mass sustain was developed, and I know that's by Schofield, and finding that information. Now, there are people here that have all that information already for us, but we got to find them. Back to the networking. We got to network now to find all the information that someone else has already done for us. It's not like we have to do it on our own, which sounds scary because
We're going
you're
to pull it
thinking-
together, and we're going to present it to everyone at World of Concrete. It's going to be great.
And the biggest thing for us is to figure out the pictures.
Yes.
It's really organizing all the information it's going to take to put together. I think the storyline might not be too complicated, but I don't, that's what our meetings are going to have to be about, is to figure out how we're going to lay out a storyline.
And in the end, we want to have a booth space, the back of the South Hall, World of Concrete 2024. And in this booth, the decorative concrete experience. You're going to be able to come in and not only see examples and a history, somewhat of a timeline of where decorative concrete came from and where it is going. But we're also going to try to pull together some of the legends of our industry.
Well,
we
but
will-
that part is not going to be a display piece. That's going to be a party. That's going to be a celebration
Yeah.
of decorative concrete, if you will.
Right, but it's all going to be right there in that
Yeah.
area of the decorative concrete experience.
I think it's going to be cool. Like they're all worried about having people man the booth. I'm not worried about that because I want them to be able to just walk through the
Yeah,
history
just
on
walk
their
through
own.
the history of it. It's a
and
self-guided tour.
Exactly.
Self-guided tour.
I wanna make it as
We
interactive as
will have
possible,
people
but-
there to answer questions or to get you signed up. If you'd like to join the ASCC and be a part of the councils that are inside of it, the Concrete Polishing Council, the Decorative Concrete Council, Emerging Leaders, you have the Safety Council,
The MAC Council.
MAC Council.
You know, where else do they have, and they probably do, and we're just not part of those organizations, but where do they have other organizations that the manufacturers get together also to talk about what they're doing between them? You know, it's pretty cool to me too. I've gone into some of those meetings and it's interesting to see their take on what's going on with ASCC and how they can help, and, you know, especially like back when you did the project in Leeds,
Yes, the Community Project.
the community project, and going to the MAC Council for material,
Right.
you know, and how that all plays together and how this organization is one giant team. It's not one council
Right.
doing all the work. The councils got together to try to find a way to help us.
It shows it, teamwork in our industry. People are helping each other to make the industry better because in the end, when you do a good job, I do a good job, the manufacturers put out a good product, it creates a better experience for our customers, for the end user. And that is just going to sustain the concrete industry longer. It's going to keep it around in a good opinion. You don't want people to go around and say, oh yeah, that decorative concrete or that polished concrete. No, you want to maintain that positive image so that it continues to grow and grow and grow. And just what you're saying, the camaraderie that we have between all of these councils and different groups and different manufacturers that all have that same common goal of making this a better industry, that's what's going to keep us relevant. That's what's going to keep us, growing.
Absolutely. Now let's talk more about these community projects that we've done over the years. Was that your first project you worked on?
No, I worked.
No, because you came with me to Michigan.
We worked in Detroit. Paul Albanelli's was the champion of that one, and Life Remodeled was
Right.
the name of the organization that we did the work for. And I don't know if I've not ever really done I've done volunteer work, but it might be something for a day. I've not ever signed up to volunteer for something that goes on for a full week of labor, or like in my case, or whoever champions a community project. You're working on that thing for months. And you helped me.
Yes.
You were a big help in helping me plan this, because I'd never done one, but I knew what the end goal was to create a space for Leeds High School that could be used for the students, the teachers, and a sensory path for the special needs.
So let's back up for a second and tell everybody what we're talking about. So
Yeah.
we try, as the Decorative Concrete Council themselves, and again, it doesn't mean that the other councils don't help us, but we, as a council, try to find places every year. We want to do it twice a year, which is crazy to think about too. I mean, to take, again, we're both contractors, to take 2 weeks out of our year to go do a nonprofit project, to add a third week out of our year to come to this conference, to add a fourth week out of this year to go to World of Concrete, to add a fifth week out of this year to go to the committee week.
Right.
There's a lot that we commit to this organization, but all in a positive way.
Sure.
And it does help us on the big picture, but it's an overwhelming commitment,
It's a commitment.
if you care.
Right.
And if you want that much out of it, you could just come to one thing. If it were me, I would come to this conference every single time for sure.
Oh, yeah.
But back to what I was talking about. So we're always looking for these projects where we want to do something for children or veterans,
Hospitals.
hospital, like anything that's a nonprofit location where people could use a way to, I guess, enlighten them or make
Improve
them-
their quality of life.
Yeah, improve their environment.
Yeah.
And so we're always looking for a place, a location. We don't care where it's at in the country, And wherever that is, whoever is the one, like Brandon, you were on the last one, we need a champion from that area that knows the area, can organize all the material, can organize the timing, can find the hotel, can figure out where everybody's going to go, and lead the project. And then we all try to show up, as many as we can in the organization. We try to show up to become part of it and follow your lead as you guide us through your big picture idea. And so I have done, I've been doing it for 10 years, because I came in as a non-member for 2 years, and it was Byron that really pushed, just for the record, and I'll put this on record. It was Byron Klemansky who talked me officially into joining the team. I had a lot of people pushing for me to become a member, but he was the one that finally made me go, I cannot believe, again, back to the networking, the people that don't have time, that are taking the time to talk to me, to convince me that this is a good thing for me.
Right.
Unbelievable.
Right.
Anyway, I decided that they wanted me to do this project with them in Chicago. And I was like, I'm not doing that as a non-member. It's not that I didn't have the time, but why would a non-member go up there and waste their time helping a community project that has nothing to do with them?
Right.
So I knew that if I was going to do this, then I had to commit right then and there. I joined like weeks before the project, maybe a month, and finally signed up, and then a month later took off to go up to Chicago to do this insane project that we did. And then I've watched from there. I've been involved with a couple of them, not every single one of them, because they've been all over the country. We had
Right.
one in Hawaii. I couldn't go to Hawaii. You know, this is one of those things. But yeah, so now back to the point of a conversation of yours. So with your project, for example, because we have a fresh look at that one right now, since we both just did it, you had to work with this high school, convince them, and then it goes farther from there. You had to actually have them like sign off on everything and give them we had to do drawings to give them an idea
Yeah.
of what we wanted to
Yeah,
do.
that's true. So kind of where it really starts is you are in the DCC meetings, and we ask for nominations. Please, someone nominate a project that would fill all the criteria, the vets, for a veteran, for a high school, for a school for kids, hospitals. And once those nominations come in, we decide which one fits best for everyone. And so I nominated Leeds High School, and it was a year before the project, happened. I nominated it. It was accepted by the board. And from there, I met with the high school and said, hey, I've nominated you guys. You've won it. Now we've got to get a plan together, because we're going to have volunteers coming here from all over the country that's going to make this thing happen. And they were in a little disbelief and just like, really? You guys are going to come in this huge area? Because this courtyard was what, 5,500, nearly 6,000 square feet?
It was huge, and it scared us because we don't want to do that big of a project.
It was big.
That's a lot to take on.
Yeah, so they were a little hesitant to just jump all in with, and so we did some drawings. They looked at the first drawings. They said, okay, we're in a good direction here, but we're a little concerned. We don't want this thing to come off with too much colors or look like a circus. And I said, no, trust us. We've got a good plan for this. And but we did open it up to the students as well. And the students did their drawings in a competition of what they would like for the courtyard to
And
look
theirs were
like.
way more colorful than
Oh
ours
yeah,
were.
way more. They really went all out. Had themes of outer space and just all types of
was
ideas.
pretty awesome to see.
And I think that was the first alarm for the school heads that were trying to approve this thing. They look at the students' drawing. They're like, oh boy, we're going to have.
Well, and it's
circus.
funny because, and I think about really with all the projects that I've been involved with, we always try to make a plan. And it's the same thing with our work as contractors. We always try to make a plan, but when you get to the job site, those plans are going to change. You couldn't make one perfectly set in stone, this is exactly what we're doing.
No.
Because there's too much opportunity, there's too many things that are going to change. And explaining that to them was complicated for you. They didn't really like hearing that at all. Did
No,
they?
but that's just like a customer. If you go in and say, "Hey, I'm going to come and polish and stain, and we're going to stamp out here, and just trust me, it's going to look good." They want more details.
Right.
Let's see some drawings. Let's see some ideas. Let's sign off.
But it's
on
the same
things.
thing
But
when we did the project in Michigan.
in Michigan,
There
same
was
way.
no plan.
There was no
Nothing.
real. Okay, we had general ideas.
Well, we did,
But,
the
you know.
organization didn't know it.
no, they didn't.
And they were just all for. So the other thing to these, and we're running out of time, but one of the great things about these two, especially the Michigan one, was a perfect example of all the people that came that never did a metallic epoxy before.
right.
All of our helpers. There was only 3 of us that had ever done it before.
Ever even touched it?
Ever even thought about it.
Right.
And one of us was mixing, which was you, and
was-
the other 2 of us were out there, and so Rob was the other one that was like keeping the floor going.
Rob Sosa.
So that I could go out there and do all of the final design work.
Right.
And you only have minutes to do this. It's not like
It's not like you have all day.
it was.
It
I was
can
so
get-
stressed about it.
Temperatures can rise quick, both in the epoxy and your head. But no, it's what I will wrap that up in saying about the community projects is, if you've not ever had a chance to do volunteer work on that scale, it is so rewarding. Do you agree? I mean, the feeling that you get when you
I was gonna bring
see
that
the
up.
work and you see the reactions on the kid's face or the veteran's
Yes.
face.
Especially
and,
at
and they're
leaves.
so appreciative.
All the
They
kids were coming up all the
grateful.
time talking
Yeah,
about it. We
man,
had
it
kids
was-
out there filming that were part of the film school
Yeah,
team. And
yeah.
No, I agree with you. Same thing with Michigan too. One of the great things I loved about Michigan was for the next year, we'd get these random emails from a link of some interview while they were sitting on top. It wasn't something showing just our floor. It was something showing what they were doing
Their
with the
activities,
space.
right.
Which was amazing
It's
to me.
just super rewarding. So yeah, the same thing with leads is that I hear from the teachers or I hear from the students that they had a senior day out there. They have picnics and just the space is being utilized much, much more. They're super happy with it. I couldn't feel more proud of it and just really rewarding. So if I'm given the opportunity to work on a volunteer project and I can be there, I will be there, because it's not about the money. It's about what you're able to give back and the way it makes you feel when you're done.
I agree. Well, with that said, I want to thank you for your time.
Absolutely.
I want
Thanks
to
for
thank
having
you
me.
for letting me help you with that project.
Yes,
and,
thank you
and
for
how
your help
involved
on it.
you made me, and I enjoyed every minute of it. And I look forward to us doing more projects together.
Absolutely. All right.
Thanks, man. Have a great day.
Same to you.
Thank you for listening to another episode of Concrete Mystique, the podcast. Go to ascconline.org to find out more about all the benefits you can get by becoming a member. A big thanks to Surfcoat for sponsoring this show. Check out surfcoat.com for all their great products. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and have a great day.